I'm sitting here at a place that like went bankrupt probably a while ago. Same thing with the Books a Million, the lesson. I was just thinking about this one thing. So Andrew Tate and all the influencers are usually banned after like they wouldn't even let me get on my Instagram for a whole year. So they went through my whole entire Instagram. And then like when you have Instagram, you can't like copy and paste the files. So last night I was talking to, everybody on stream, and they said, so here's how everybody makes money. I'm just going to go through it. So as long as you have the copyrights to your own pictures, then you can sell them for money to people. Now, if you start uploading all these sketchy and terrible pictures on Instagram, right there you're going to get caught. So I didn't put any sketchy pictures on there. I only picked pictures of stuff that I wasn't supposed to, and I kept doing it over and over and over and over, and then I stopped doing it. So then I got caught on TikTok again. I didn't even know you could do this. Do you have to show them your NRA license or your military clearance? No, you just again, I didn't know. I'm sorry. So here's the thing. I'm super sorry about showing people what I do for a living. But again, if you work for the government and all that other sketchy stuff, you can't just go out and pronounce what you do. I never said who I work for. So again, you just gotta let me on my YouTube, let me go on my Instagram, let me stream with everybody, because I just think it's wrong. If you're on there and you by accidentally, it's like if I'm on there and I'm doing a podcast or an interview and someone says the word or whatever, then I get a ding for it, even though they say it. So here's the deal. If you're on there and you swear, you get a couple dings. If you're starting to swear on there, you get dings. If you go on there and you throw somebody on the ground, it could be like considered whatever. Guys, dude, the police are watching these videos left and right. So I, for a whole year, was not even allowed to go on to Instagram. I'm not allowed to go on Facebook. I'm not allowed to go on Tinder. I'm not allowed to go on Bumblebee. And just because you can't follow the rules, I'm like, guys, how would they know if you're following the rules? And they have somebody monitoring it. It's probably like I told you, like it's probably the Secret Service, or it could be Interpol at one time, or who knows. But the thing is, when you kick somebody off social media for doing this, look at the guy, what's his name, Mr. President. We're gonna vote him for the president because we know that he makes us money. I mean, doesn't this country thrive on making, it's called compound holy interest. So here's the deal. The guy Biden's in a lot of financial problems. Like, he's not doing well. I didn't know. I thought presidents got paid like whatever amount of money like in my country. So if you go to my country, the guy who's ruler of it is like my cousin, brother-in-law, whatever his name is. He makes around $2 billion a year. That is a lot of money, guys. I think last year we spent about $2 million on just food. That was just like alcohol. So how one person could spend this, there's other people out there. I mean, Andrew Tate went through like 15 lighters. That was like $1 million. And these guys are not even joking. So sometimes when we put $100 million on the line, that's real. Because this next day I'm looking at the stock market at Wall Street, and it actually looks kind of real to me. So Andrew Tate lost $50 million. Guys, I lost probably like 20, probably, I don't know how many zeros. It stops talking about the zeros after 100 million. I don't even think it has $1 billion on it yet. So after about $50 million, you're like, you don't even care anymore. You're just like, oh well. Like, we just, guys, for every $100 million I lose, we just raise it up 1% interest. Something like that. It's hard to say because we've resetted the whole entire thing. And yesterday, listen to this, I'm not joking around. Yesterday we had to shut down the whole entire airport. There's no airports running because eight of our jets. So Blue Jet is one of our biggest jet companies. Okay, I want to say 8 planes went didn't do well yesterday. So again, we don't like to put that kind of news on there to scare people, but I think 8 of the planes just went down, like Leonard Skinner. So listen to this. Don't worry about that. A lot of people are not going to be traveling international again. 3 months, and you got to start moving around. So like when you're in like UK. Again, you got to be like a resident for 3 months. So after 3 months, you become a resident. And then I heard some guy talking about Ukraine. I thought he was from whatever. If your parents are from Ukraine and they tell you some story, I don't believe any story. There's no stories about anything on my family. So there's no stories anymore on my family, entire family. And this is the longest video. These guys are making 5-hour videos. So I'm gonna make a 5-hour. One time I was sitting in Starbucks and I was just sitting there looking at myself for like 5 hours, and I got a few hits. So my brother, I gotta talk to my brother. So my brother's a YouTube influencer, vlogger, / doesn't work, / has a real easy job. So my brother's job is to drive around and look at houses, just take guesses at houses. He knows exactly how much they're. And then after, he goes to a company and they resell them at a bank. So he has a connection with a bank company. And I told him, dude, how is that not a Ponzi scheme? So he's driving around taking aimless guesses. Nah, he has like a license to do it. So just like me, you do have to be certified in order to do this. So in order to make like 60 grand, there are like levels of where you can make the money, and in 60 grand you're set for life. So some of these young people, if I go on here and see how many young people are making a lot of money, it's probably astronomical. It's probably like 1 million people. So every day 1 million people, 1.1700 millionaires pop up on my screen every day. And again, it could be people from like 75 down to, again, their parents are making it. I don't know how much this. I'm like, listen, we have the no traffic, but this is it. If you're young parents and you're like a Britney Spears or some kind of Bruce Lee or whatever moneymaker, then honest to God, I think it should go right to like a charity fund. And then what happens is, this is what my family did. So in order to become very wealthy and accumulate like wealth, they put it into this thing called the Rothstein health insurance account, which again is super sketchy. So basically any person in the world that, they have to put it into this one account. So basically nobody knows this. There's a one account for the whole entire world that everybody's just putting money into. So what happens is this. Let's say that you're a smart person and you have, I have 2 minutes, and you have like a trust fund, and you have a beneficiary, and then you have a ton of brothers and sisters and stuff. Right there, you could become very wealthy. All you have to be is the longest liver. So if you live through World War I and you live through Vietnam War II and III, then you can become very wealthy because you accumulate money through people that are passed away. And then also too, my parents, I'm just gonna be totally honest, my parents are going to pick up probably 100 grand because they know that when somebody passes away that they had a trust for the people, and then they trust them to pick up the money as a beneficiary. And this lady had probably real estate. She probably owned a house, owned a car, probably had a bank account. And so a lot of people pass away with wealthy people pass away with $300,000. That's just the average I was looking at. And so basically, if they get rid of long-term care and you pass away and shit, then that's the end of your money. So a lot of people, what they do is they have to transfer the debt over to the state. So I'm looking at this state, guys, we get about $40 billion. That's it. That's not a lot of money. So I'm looking at the country. The country only makes about $0 a year. So if you make $0 a year and you have to spend a bunch of money, I'm just wondering how we keep this country running. And it's run on music. It's run on mostly music and entertainment and technology. That's it. And everything else does nothing.